As the title says, top TryHackMe rooms that you should not miss if you are getting started in cybersecurity. And here I am talking about everyone who are getting started, regardless of your background. So whether with IT experience or without IT experience, you can use this list as a starting point. Now, before telling you guys what is the list, actually it's worth mentioning that in TryHackMe, there are basically already established paths that you can basically enroll in to get started. Among them is the Cybersecurity 101. And the other one is, of course, the pre-security that prepares you for the the new TryHackMe certificate. So these two paths you can basically enroll in for an extended journey, right? But there are certain rooms that I believe you should not miss, and maybe you should give them more priority. And I will tell you guys what are these rooms, of course, based on my opinion. Now, before I start, it's worth mentioning, guys, that if you want to search for a specific walkthrough in your mind, or basically if you want to find walkthroughs for the rooms that I'm going to recommend today, you can search through my playlist, TryHackMe walkthroughs. You'll find a lot of walkthroughs. It has around 489 videos. So among them are new walkthroughs, old walkthroughs. So you can search here, and if you don't find a walkthrough for the rooms that I'm gonna mention today, you can either search or wait. But you can basically search. You can use the search if you don't find any TryHackMe room in my playlist. So let's get back to it. Number one is introductory networking, and that's basically something that is a must. It doesn't need explanation why. You see, if you don't know the basics of networking, such as the Aussie model, TCP/IP, basic networking tools, ping, traceroute, whoisdig, then I know, guys, you know the answer why you need these things, especially the TCP/IP model and the Aussie model. Without solid understanding of these networking standards, you won't be able to understand the traffic flow between endpoints, between server and clients. So these basically are a must, especially for SOC analysts. When analyzing packets and when going through packet captures from Wireshark or the tools, if you don't understand the Aussie model, and if you don't know where to look, then it's pointless, right? So that's the first room. That's a must. Next, DNS in detail. Again, we are still in the networking space. Why DNS? Because it's the backbone of the internet. Without domain IP resolution back and forth, there will be no internet, right? And basically, DNS is a must if you basically, or when you dig deeper into DNS attacks or attacks that target DNS protocols such as DNS spoofing. So understanding the DNS structure is a must here. Next is HTTP in detail. We are still in the networking space. You see, HTTP basically is the protocol that's used for browsing, and understanding its structure, the HTTP headers, the methods, all of these basically can be found here. Okay, you can learn the basics. You can learn about HTTP methods, because at the end, if you don't know the methods, you'll not be able to use Purpose Suite later. So Purpose Suite, I know, guys, you know, it's a tool that's used to test the application security. If you don't understand HTTP, then Purpose Suite will become pointless. Next on my top list is network services. You see, after understanding the Aussie model, HTTP, DNS, now it's time to expand into other networking protocols. In the Network Services Part 1 and Network Services Part 2, you will learn about a lot of popular networking protocols that you will encounter when you get into cyber, whether in the offensive space or in the defensive space. So here you will learn about SMB, Telnet, FTP, and of course you will learn how to test them, meaning exploit them. Network Services 2, you will learn about NFS, SMTP, MySQL, and so these are basically very popular network protocols that you need to understand how they work, how to enumerate them, and how to exploit them. These two rooms, I mean, if you miss DNS or HTTP, you should not miss Network Services 1 and Network Services 2. Next, Intro to LAN. You will now start wondering, is this guy recommending a preparation course for CCNA or cybersecurity? I am focusing and emphasizing on the importance of networking more than coding. Right now, AI can do the coding, but AI cannot do the networking, right? So learning networking is a skill that you will basically need, even if you don't get in cyber. You can use it to work as network administrator or network engineer. So Intro to LAN here will teach you about ARP, DHCP, and a primer on subnetting, okay? But on LAN, you will learn the basics of how a local network works and how DHCP works. And after learning this room, you will be able maybe to understand how to mess with your router in your home, right? You'll learn why ARP is used, what is DHCP, how IPs are allocated within a local area network. And that room basically is also essential if you want to later work on understanding wireless attacks. So understanding wireless attacks requires understanding the local area network and its protocols. Next on the list is how websites work. And again, that's basically important when you later learn web application security. When you understand how websites work, you will learn about front end, back end, HTML, JavaScript. These are all introductory on introductory level. Okay. And here, task 4 and task 5 introduce you to two common attacks: sensitive data exposure, which is basically when the application leaks data, and HTML injection. It's when the attacker is allowed to inject HTML code to execute commands or to leak information of the server. So learning this rule will give you the basics of how websites work, which is basically, as I told you guys, recommended or important for web application security. Next is packets and frames. And you see, after you learned basic networking, now it's time to elevate your knowledge or dig a little bit deeper. Understanding packets and frames. And here you will learn basically about the handshake, the difference between UDP, TCP. And here you'll get introduced to some basic ports and what's their associated protocol. More importantly, you should focus on understanding the handshake or the TCP three-way handshake. Understanding this handshake allows you to troubleshoot networks, understand where basically to find certain data or data types when troubleshooting or when doing deep packet capture analysis. So this room is also part of your networking journey. Next is operating system fundamentals. So you learn the basic of networkings, the minimum that you need to know, okay? And now it's time to pivot into operating systems. There are 6 rooms in TryHackMe that you should not miss to learn the basics of Windows and Linux. So for Windows, you have Windows Fundamentals 1 and Windows Fundamentals 2 and Windows Fundamentals 3. There should be 3 here. Yeah. So I have 3 rooms to learn the basics of Windows. And basically, it doesn't need me to explain why you need to learn the basics of Windows, because understanding the operating system, you will be able to investigate later where to look when investigating cyber attacks or compromised machines. And it's also necessary in the offensive domain. When you want to conduct penetration testing, you want to learn where are the weaknesses of every OS, what are the areas that are most common to vulnerabilities and weaknesses. So if you don't learn, or if you don't know the basics of OS or the components of the operating system, attacking or defending will become impossible. So that's for Windows. And for, of course, Linux, you have Fundamentals Part 1 and Fundamentals Part 2 and 3. But the same reasoning applies here. It goes a long way when you want to attack or defend operating systems, is learning how they work. And next on my list is Python basics and Bash scripting. So why I'm mentioning these at the very end? Because right now, with the recent developments in AI, and of course, if you have watched my recent video on cloud code security, you will basically know how AI reaches the point where it can basically may replace, or it's actually replacing junior coders, right? So I know learning the basics is essential and it goes a long way. However, maybe you should basically learn only the basics, in my opinion, especially if you want to work in the defensive domain or in the offensive domain. If you want to work away from secure coding in cybersecurity, well, then getting deeper in programming might not be necessary. However, if you want to get into the area of secure coding, software development security, then you have to focus on programming. However, right now, AI is basically doing the job on behalf of not only coders, many other professions. So learning the basics still is essential. So Python basics and Bash scripting. Why Python and Bash scripting? Because Python is the most commonly used scripting programming language, especially in cybersecurity. So learning the operators, the variables, the loops, you will basically be able to understand or have the ability to tell what a script does by just looking at the script, okay? And that basically is important when you are investigating attacks. And when you stumble upon a Python shell or a Python web shell or a Python backdoor, you will need to interpret and extract a narrative out of the script. If you don't know the basics, that becomes impossible. Again, in the offensive domain, when you want to create a script that does the repetitive tasks in your engagement or your pen testing engagement, without Python understanding, you will not be able to be efficient in your engagements. Next, Bash scripting, because it is the the language used in Linux. So that's also essential when you are learning Linux. Again, some attackers use bash scripting to create backdoors or persistence. So understanding bash is essential to investigate these kind of attacks. All right, next on my list is Active Directory basics. And Active Directory is the default operating system used by companies and enterprises. And considering that most attacks target companies and enterprises, you will need to learn Active Directory basics to investigate these attacks or to maybe conduct an engagement. So here in this room, you will learn about the very basics of AD, such as managing users, computers, group policies. And of particular focus here, I want to mention is the users in AD. Understanding user hierarchy, organizational unit here should be prioritized because this allows you to learn how attackers abuse users or create new users to establish persistence on compromised machines. And now you are nearly ready to dive into cybersecurity concepts and tools. Nmap is the tool that you should learn first after having learned the basics. Nmap is used everywhere, and it's the tool that's basically used to conduct network scanning, and in some cases allows you to conduct vulnerability scanning using its scripting engine capabilities. Nmap contains a repository of scripts that can be used to scan for vulnerabilities. So Nmap is the first tool or the first thing that you will learn or you need to learn after learning the basics. That's your first tool in cyber, before Metasploit, before Purpose Suite. So this room is perfectly engineered to teach you Nmap. Now to Windows PowerShell and Windows command line. I should have mentioned these earlier, but to get there late, better than not getting there at all. So Windows command line and Windows PowerShell come before Nmap because they fall into the basics of Windows. A particular focus here, I want to mention Windows PowerShell room. In this room, you will learn the very basics that you will need to understand how PowerShell works, and you'll be able also to learn how to tell a story from a PowerShell script, and you'll be able to create basic PowerShell scripts. These skills are essential, again, in attack and defense. Again, in Windows command line, that's also essential because at the end, when you are attacking a Windows system and when you compromise the machine, you will end up in a Windows shell. A Windows shell is like a terminal you open in Linux, right? Here you will need to use basic, or we need to use Windows commands, right, to navigate through the system. If you don't know the basics of Windows command line, that becomes impossible. So here, that's why we've come to Windows command line and Windows PowerShell. Next is content discovery. And that room will teach you one of the important skills while conducting web application penetration testing. An important part of conducting web application penetration testing is discovering content. So, such as the sitemap, the structure of the website, the hidden pages. You will learn how to do that in the content discovery room. And that's basically core cybersecurity. It is within the penetration testing stages. Here you will learn all the tools, all the tactics that you basically need to discover content and do content enumeration. Next on my list is vulnerability. So why vulnerability? It's your first application of what you have learned in the basics and what you have learned using Nmap and content discovery. Here you will basically attack a vulnerable application. You will learn how to use reconnaissance, how to discover content using GoBuster, and how to compromise the web server. Now, look, this room uses Purpose Suite here. If you get stuck and if you don't know how to use Purpose Suite, you can then use Purpose Suite the basics. So maybe if you know how to use Purpose Suite, you can skip Purpose Suite the basics. But if you don't know how to use Purpose Suite, then before vulnerability, you have to check out Purpose Suite the basics. Purpose Suite, it's the tool used by cybersecurity professionals to conduct web application security testing. It's used everywhere, nearly in every pen testing engagement. So learning this tool is your top priority. So learning this tool, and then you can basically practice with vulnerability. Vulnerability doesn't use a lot of Purpose Suite here. Okay, just one case scenario to conduct a sniper payload attack. However, maybe you can start them both, Purpose Suite the basics and vulnerability. Okay, next, vulnerabilities 101. In this, we will understand the concept of a vulnerability, the concept of scoring vulnerabilities, high, medium, low, and the concept of researching vulnerabilities. Researching vulnerabilities is a critical skill when you also conduct pen testing engagement. You want to learn how to research the target's application vulnerability. That can be learned here in Vulnerabilities 101. Next is your beloved tool, Metasploit. You can start with Metasploit introduction to learn the basics of modules, auxiliary modules, exploits, the console. This room is essential. And after Metasploit, you can then think of learning Windows privilege escalation and Linux privilege escalation. These two rooms allow you to understand how to move through Linux and Windows after you compromise them. So becoming root in Linux or becoming administrator in Windows is basically essential in pen testing engagements. Without getting root on the machine or administrator on the Windows machine, basically your client would tell you that my system is secure. You could not prove that it is vulnerable. So yes, you have Linux privilege escalation and Windows privilege escalation. Now we come to the area of defensive security or blue teaming. You get traffic analysis essentials. That's the first room here, understanding the basics of analyzing traffic, because blue teaming is all about analyzing traffic and analyzing logs and then responding to incidents. But first, you have to learn how to analyze traffic, analyze logs. So traffic analysis essentials, and you have intro to logs. These two rooms are your first go-to in blue teaming, or when you get started in blue teaming. And next, you can start learning Wireshark. That's the first tool you need to learn in blue teaming, among other tools, because it is basically the tool that's used by all practitioners in this domain. So you have Wireshark the basics and Wireshark packet operations. And lastly, we have the malware introductory, understanding how malware works and difference between static and dynamic analysis. This one basically prepares you, gives you the basics when you want to respond to incidents that involve malwares. Okay. Now, after you have finished this list, you can maybe then think about whether to get into the blue team domain or the red team domain, the offensive or defensive security. After choosing either, you will then be able to search and know where to search about the advanced skills in these domains. In TryHackMe, basically, you can search here. You can do the search to learn to basically search about any concept in blue team or red team. You can also use Hack the Box platform to advance your skills. So your next steps are specializing. Of course, that list is a shortcut. Okay. The basics are basically way more than this. However, that's maybe a starting point. So if you find this helpful, let me know, guys, what you think, and I will see you later.